Pierre, LeBrun, ESPN.com, along with my counterpart Katie Strang of ESPN.com on the eve of the NHL draft here in Fort Lauderdale / Sunrise / South Florida. You know, that whole beautiful area. It doesn't feel like hockey weather, but one of the great young prodigies of hockey, Connor McDavid, will go first overall on Friday evening here. He'll be taken by the Edmonton Oilers. Your thoughts ahead of what will be an historic couple of picks here?
Oh, I'm excited. I think that he's a guy that's regarded as a generational talent, along the lines of a Sidney Crosby, maybe even along the lines of a Gretzky, a Lemieux. I mean, that's what hockey fans are hoping. Certainly Edmonton Oilers fans are hoping. But to me, you know, we already sort of know that Connor McDavid's going to go first, Jack Eichel's going to go second. To me, the more intriguing thing is that third pick, because there are, you know, at least a few teams that seem very aggressive in terms of trying to move up and to get that pick. And I think you know a little bit more about this, so tell me how Don Maloney is feeling right now.
Well, he's feeling like his phone is ringing a lot, and my understanding is Don Maloney of the Coyotes, still in Arizona as we speak. We'll check again tomorrow. They've gotten a lot of action on that number 3 overall pick. They've got 2 firm offers as of Thursday afternoon for the pick outright, and then other offers that involve players and other picks and more complicated, extravagant deals, perhaps. Now, I will say this. Every year at this time, there's a team in the top 3 or 4 that dangles the pick, and I think it's just to smoke out a sucker, just to see if there's a team that will overreach and overpay. Is that what Don Maloney's doing? I'm not 100% sure, but he's certainly listening. And I think, you know, I spoke to a scout today who said part of the reason why maybe Arizona's listing at a 3rd overall pick is that, at least this scout feels, that the drop-off between the 3rd overall pick, where a lot of people have Noah Hannafin, is not that much, you know, from 3 to 12. That there's a lot of good hockey players between 3 and 12, so that if you can move down and gather an asset or 2 in the process, but still get a really good player, then maybe that's what Arizona is thinking about.
And certainly this is a draft that is regarded as very, very deep compared to previous years. But to me, beyond the prospects, I'm really intrigued to see how this Phil Kessel situation will play out. We got a chance to talk with Toronto Maple Leafs president Brendan Shanahan today about the possibility of potentially moving Phil Kessel in advance of the draft. He confirmed the obvious, basically, that interest was very strong, that he had fielded more calls about Phil Kessel than any other Toronto Maple Leaf. No surprise there. You know, he's a pure goal scorer, 5-time 30-goal scorer. And as Brendan Shanahan said, you know, every team needs goals. So I think that there will be due diligence on the Leafs' part, and I think that they want to be careful not to make a hasty decision, not to do anything out of a sort of knee-jerk reaction. But I do think, you know, they will be listening hard on some offers, and I think there's some teams really looking to land, you know, one of those top-line wingers like that maybe make things interesting.
Well, and I think the decision for the Leafs on Phil Kessel, for the Chicago Blackhawks on Patrick Sharp, and for any other team that's shopping a player, for example, Carolina and Jeff Skinner, is your best offer coming in the next 48 hours when there's a draft pick involved and you'd like to gather another draft pick in what is a really deep draft? Or is it not good enough, and do you wait until next week, first week of free agency, July 1st and onwards, where maybe teams strike out on the players they thought they were going to sign, and then they have to come circle back and make an offer on Kessel, make an offer on Sharp? So I think, to me, that's a dilemma for Chicago and Toronto and other teams. Do we trade our guy now, or do we wait till the first week of July? Because I think that's a second window that could be just as good. You know what? We'll find out between now and then.
It'll be fun.
All right.
I'm looking forward to it.
Katie Strang, ESPN.com, along with Pierre, LeBrun. Stay with us for coverage of the NHL draft and more on ESPN.com.